Hello and welcome to the Service Ducks podcast. I am co-host James Downs.
And I'm Rush here, and we're here to chat about all things ServiceNow, everyday life as a ServiceNow consultant, new features, implementation successes, and perhaps more entertaining when it doesn't go quite so well. Hello, and welcome to the Service Ducks podcast. So, this episode is going to be a bit different. So, well, first of all, we're live. Second of all, we're live from Vegas-ish. Now, Jim and I, James Downs and I, didn't manage to get a ticket this year, sad face, but we've managed to get two willing participants, maybe, to be our eyes and ears on the floor. So if you want to listen to the highs, the lows, from the best keynote session to, I don't know, who did the worst karaoke song, then stick around and we'll find out. Jim, I'm excited, man. That was how did I do? Was that all right?
Yeah, that's very good. I just had a little moment there because I had playing LinkedIn in the background, so I had you about 2 or 3 times. I was like, oh no, what's going on? But no, that's my bad.
Well, this is the thing. We're trying LinkedIn and YouTube, so we're going to try and answer comments if we can.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm pretty excited. So, right, okay, so let's get back to it. Let's look at our guests. Let's introduce our guests, right? So we've got Francis Cavaciuti. So Francis is a lead technical consultant, we'll say, from Flyform. Now, he's been in the game for about, on the platform, 6 years, and got a passion for user experience and get the best out of the platform. Well, one thing he did know and wanted me to tell everyone is he doesn't like domain set. So I don't think you're on your own.
No.
I think we've got a WhatsApp group for We Hate Domain Set.
I've got a therapy group as well, so it's okay.
We'll join. And on the other side of the fence, we've got James Bough. Now, James works for NTT Data, again in the UK as a technical consultant. James is a bit more of a veteran, though. You can tell by the kind of receding hairline. He's been working on the platform since around about 2014, so he's got a few more gripes than most of us. Gents, it's a massive pleasure, and thanks for taking your time to talk to us today. Whew, Francis, how is it?
It's busy, very busy, unbelievably. That's the thing that sort of strikes you first when you're here. It's the sheer volume of people and the size of the event. It is massive. I've been taking little videos of walking around, which I'm going to try and do sort of like a faster speed to play back to the guys back at Flyform when I get back, to try and give them a feel for the scale of it. But it's going to have to be like 4 times speed, otherwise they are going to get completely bored, because there is a lot of square footage to cover here. It is massive, really massive.
I think we're definitely appreciating the waistcoat as well there, Francis. Definitely in favour.
Full gear, got the pocket watch as well. So.
Oh, look at that.
I bumped into Francis on Sunday out on the strip, and he was wearing a very nice Panama hat like the Del Monte man. So he was looking very smart.
I do say yes. That's the slogan of Knowledge 22 as well. Yes, so it's perfect, isn't it?
So I saw the selfie, Francis, you got with you peaked, man, quite early. I saw on LinkedIn you got a selfie with Chuck, the man himself.
Yep.
Pretty early on, and you got you in your tie, Chuck in his bow tie, rocking out. Brilliant. Absolutely
Indeed.
Brilliant.
Well, he's the ServiceNow guy with the bow tie, and I'm the ServiceNow guy in the suit and tie.
Rock it, man. Yeah, rock it. Why not? Why not? James Bough.
Hello.
Before you went to Vegas, you spoke and you said you were going to do the helicopter ride. You didn't do it.
No.
It's so expensive out here, is all I can say. It's £15 for a beer, so it's so expensive. The helicopter ride, the big one over the canyon, was £600.
Wow.
It's a lot of money, and I can't expense it. So,
no.
We didn't do that, unfortunately. There's a few things we haven't done that was on the list as the tourist sort of angle, but we've done plenty of things. Don't get me wrong, a lot of mooching about on the strip and other places, but no helicopter ride.
Are these plenty of things that you can share on a podcast, or are they?
No, like well behaved. Yeah.
Did you queue and get your photo taken at the sign?
No, not done the sign yet. It's quite a distance away. I didn't realise how big it was around here. It's so big. So it takes us from the hotel we're in to walk just to the Venetian where we are now in the corridors. Is a good 35 minutes from where we are. Francis is in the same hotel that I'm in by coincidence, and that's just a part of the strip. You've got to. It's a long way. So and it's hot. So not in here.
It's deceptively large as well, because the buildings are just such grand scale. When you look at it from Google Maps, you got to go, oh, that's a block of three buildings. I'll walk up there. But actually, those three buildings are all the size of massive shopping malls that you would have here in the UK, and so, or if it's not here, there in the UK. But yes, it is massive. I can see the sign from my hotel window if that does it for you, but it's like a speck in the distance. That's where the sign is.
It's a bit like, Francis, we're struggling to hear bits of what you say. I don't know whether you could bring your mic closer or
go back to the Wi-Fi point.
He's literally just around the corner.
That's better. Much better.
Yeah, stay there and do not move.
And that's fine. We're going to have these difficulties, they say, don't they? Don't work with, what is it, animals, children, and ServiceNow Technical Consultants over in Vegas, apparently.
And I fit all three of those categories.
Yes.
But you know what? One of the questions I was going to ask, and I've resisted asking, but I'm going to go in there because you mentioned it, James, right? What's the weather like?
It is. That's a very British thing to say, isn't it? No, it's really nice. It's really hot. I think the first day we were here, it was 38 degrees. But the problem you've got is that when you walk into places like the shopping malls and stuff like that, it's so heavily air conditioned that you just instantly. I mean, I've got a jumper on at the moment, so it's the air conditioning is a bit of a killer. But outside, it's beautiful. It really is. Blue skies. You can see the mountains in the background, and it's a great atmosphere.
I think we're lucky enough if we get 22 degrees, right, Russ? I think we're
heat wave.
I haven't broke out the shorts yet. Shorts aren't coming out.
Yeah.
So
Francis, so I've got a question in terms of, so this is now what, day 3 of knowledge? So you're going into day 3, I guess.
Yes.
On the
this is the
Thursday.
beginning of day 3.
So in terms of expectations so far, I know we're probably going to go deeper into about, the kind of topics that's come up and any kind of, highlights and things like that. But in terms of expectations so far, I know you said before to us that I think you went to a London one before, and this is probably your first big knowledge. Has it hit your expectations, would you say, so far?
Yeah, knowledge
has got everything you needed from it so far as well?
I would say definitely. Knowledge itself has been phenomenal. It's beyond my expectations, to be honest. It's been really good. Like I said, the sheer scale of it and the number of resources that you can just go up and have a chat with. Spoiler alert, CSDM 5 is being announced here, and so there's a draft film that I'm sure you've seen that around. But being able to go up and talk to Scott, who actually wrote CSDM, and have an in-depth discussion with him, it's just the sort of stuff that you can't do otherwise, and it's amazing. It's really amazing. And all the presentations and all of the labs, and I was here also for the first 2 days and doing the Now Learning as well, and so those courses as well were very well put together, very well delivered. I was very happy.
Francis, I just made out CSDM 5. I don't know if you need to move anywhere, but it's really difficult to...
Jump on James.
Francis, can you come closer this way?
Because the outside.
My connection's okay, I think. It's getting quite busy in the corridors because people are queuing for their next session.
Go find Jim.
In fact, it was a good point. So CSDM 5, so literally an hour ago, someone sent me a screenshot from Vegas that they'd seen on screen with CSDM 5. It was quite topical, the conversation I was having. What about you, James, though? You've not been to Knowledge before, managed to get the golden ticket.
The golden ticket? Yeah, no, I've not been before. It has met the expectations. I think what Francis was saying there, it's the amount of people that are here. So you got just short of 20,000 people, I think. Everyone's really here obviously as a partner or a customer or an employee of ServiceNow, and everyone's here for the same thing. So it doesn't really matter what your position is within the company, what your role is. Everyone's sort of here to see the new things. But I think the key thing is around just meeting people and talking to people and being on the show floor and stuff like that. To me, that's been more value than being in some of the sessions.
the collaboration
Yeah.
bit of it and just being part of something with someone
Yeah,
else. I
and
get
the show
that.
floor is amazing. There's no doubt about it. And you've got some really good sessions where it's the now on now people, so you can just wander in and have a look at whatever you want, and someone's going to stand there and just tailor that demo to you. So yeah, it's the sheer scale of it is unbelievable, though. It really is. And we just had the third.
So
So gone.
let's talk sessions for a bit then. So what kind of again, I'm getting all this kind of as it's happening from LinkedIn, right? Of people taking pictures.
Getting all these kind of like snippets, don't we? Yeah.
Well, Jacinda Ardern?
Yeah, she's just in the keynote. She's
What was that?
unbelievable. She was really good. I didn't know she was on. I'd heard a rumor. So the keynote is, well, this is the third one. So the third day, final day, you had quite a lot going on. Bill McDermott on day one and stuff like that. Obviously, he brings a lot of energy to the stage, should we say? But yeah,
Okay.
Jacinda, the Right Honourable Jacinda, pretty inspiring. She did a good session. She's extended her stay in Vegas just to do this, apparently. So she was on just like an hour ago, maybe.
So what was the keynote from the keynote then? What was the main message of the last one?
So the keynote is the word yes.
I heard that. Yeah, well, come on.
The very like Windows 95.
Say yes. Have we lost Francis, by the way? I think we lost Francis.
No. He's
still
just rejoining.
He disappeared. He's trying to roam around.
Oh, there we go. He's tried somewhere else.
Still there. He's in a different environment. He's gone rogue.
There we are.
This is
He's
like
giving us
Italian
the tour.
janitor. Francis, go and tap the person behind you. So yeah, give me a selfie.
Stop the clock. I forgot. What was the question? I forgot what the question was. Sorry, guys. What we're talking about?
I think your keynotes. What was the keynote in the keynote?
Yeah.
And you said yes.
Yeah. The main word, yes.
Yeah, yes. There's a lot of the expression, let's lean in. There was a lot of leaning in. That was a key thing. Let's lean into this. Let's lean into that. Obviously, Gen AI is obviously, I sound like Forrest Gump then, I think I said that. Generative AI, that's a key thing. But
yes, I want to talk about that
just
in a minute.
around the scale and what they're trying to do and trying to build and stuff like that. It's, the key thing also is around the rise up, I think. So this whole million people.
Yeah.
And adding that with the Gen AI stuff, it's a bit worrying.
So Gen AI, as I understand it, within the keynote yesterday, right? They did a pretty powerful demo, which I heard got some reaction. Is that right?
We need to hear more about that because I don't think I've seen that. So,
it was quite high level, I think, for what they were trying to show. I think the problem is some of these sessions that you go to and the keynotes, they're not. I mean, the keynote's 45 minutes, an hour long, but the sessions, some of those are only 30 minutes. So you've got someone's trying to push a lot into 30 minutes, so it's pretty high level. They can't do anything other than that, obviously, unless you had a day session, and of course then you're only going to be able to go to 3 instead of 9 or 12 or whatever you want to go to.
So I've heard the term ServiceNow Assist. Is that sitting in the same frame as the generative AI? Is that ServiceNow's AI model?
Now Assist is what it's called at the moment. Although Now Assist, although I believe you can rebrand it or relabel it, yourself as and when it's launched. I don't know.
Oh, right, okay.
But that's what it's called. But they gave it.
And have they mentioned, is it just for code generation? Is it for configuration as well? Have they kind of said the use case?
Yeah, kind of text to code and text to config. So I think the two demos they did, it can write. You basically just write in English what you want it to do. For a business rule, for example, it'll go and write a sort of rough business rule that you can play around with. Yeah. But then you can also do things like ask it to create a flow and send a notification and add a field to a form, and you are literally just typing in, can you add a field to the form? Call it this. It needs to be a string value. Can you send a notification when whatever criteria is hit? And so yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. I saw some mixed kind of reviews on LinkedIn. I think for me, it's the path it's taking us down, not necessarily where it is now. It's like, well, where's it going? You know what I mean? Where what are the possible now does it go? Francis, we've got you back, and it's a really good connection.
I'm okay. Is the audio okay? Do I look good?
Yeah, it's so much better. So much better.
Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
Francis, we'll give James a bit of a
Yeah,
break
go
for
for
a
it.
minute, but we were just talking about Gen AI and Jacinda Ardern weirdly popping up in the keynote sessions. From the other sessions that you've been to, like the labs, customer sessions, is there any kind of highlights that you pick out that you thought, wow, that blew me away, that was impressive, or I'm going to take that back with me?
Well, I've been to a few of the different sessions that have been put in. I was quite impressed with the App Engine pieces that they brought in, and so those are quite interesting. Some of those are already out there and are available. Some of them are future sort of like forward-looking items that they're looking to bring in. But as James was saying, how this all then hooks in, and the roadmap of how this will then hook into the Gen AI, and trying to leverage that, because I mean ultimately the thought processes, I get it from what they're doing. I don't know if you've sort of covered this off already, James, but is they're just looking to take the legwork out of a lot of it. So, you know, it's kind of not going to replace people, is what they're saying. My concern is that people will get lazy.
Yeah.
And so we'll just follow what the code says. And
Yeah.
when you have unicorns come up that you have to code for, then it's going to be very difficult for people to then upskill themselves rapidly to be able to deal with that scenario, which the current library doesn't comprehend or doesn't know. And so you're still going to have some people, I think, who will have to, you know, keep those skills and be very much skilled up. And if anything, they'll maybe become more valuable then. So it might be a brilliant thing for us, you know, as opposed to, you know, the death knell for all of the developer world.
Yeah, absolutely. From what I heard, it seems pretty exciting. Gonna kind of flip that on its head slightly then. Is there any sessions, Francis, is back at you, mate? We've got you. We're going to take advantage of this while you're
Take
still
advantage
here.
of the connection. Yep.
Is there any sessions that you thought probably, I don't want to say waste, no, sorry, it's my podcast, yeah. You wasted your time with?
There was a...
Oh, hang on, we didn't, before you finish, we didn't put any money in the pound jar, did we? Let's get it over and done with. DXC, NTT, Flyform, UP3, we're done. Right.
I've already name dropped Flyform already, so yeah.
Nice.
The only thing is you probably didn't hear it because of my audio connection.
That's good.
But yeah, so sessions that I thought were, not as great. So, not directly myself, to be honest. The ones I've been in, some of them were a bit mediocre because, for example, case studies of how people have implemented things, and then when you're there, they're kind of implementing it as the book says. It's nothing, you know, unique. And you're like, okay, this is great. It's really good to know that what it says on the tin is what you did, and it's done what you said, but it's nothing sort of new or taking me forward in any way. There were, I know, sort of comments from some of the other sessions about technical issues with some of the now learning sessions, but like I said, my one delivered by Steve Schuller, amazing guy, really good session. CMDB fundamentals is something I've worked around for ages, but I've never gone and sat the course, and so when I sat the course, got thoroughly upskilled by Steve, and also learned that he's amazing at the harmonica, and he was serenading us with the harmonica during the session. So I mean, you can't, you know, a meal and a show. What more do you want?
Yeah.
So, Francis,
I guess from what you said, perhaps there's no bad sessions, but perhaps next time you just might pick your sessions differently. Do you know what I mean? Maybe not aimed at you, and you think, oh, okay, the agenda's maybe something I might not go to next time. Yeah, that's fair. Okay.
I think just quickly on that, I think the common thread that people are saying is that the sessions don't have enough description of what's going to be covered when you're picking them from the catalogue. So if you, I think a few people have said that. So it might not be sort of pitched at the right level, or it's not going to cover what you think it's going to cover, or it might cover more. I don't know. So they could perhaps just do with a bit more of a description in that catalogue.
Yeah.
That sounds like a man that's got a gripe with the session. Come on. Tell us which one you didn't like.
No, to be honest, I didn't have that gripe. It's just that I've been hearing word on the street is what
he's down with the kids.
Yeah, right. Okay.
I heard there was a completely different type of session around, was it singing or karaoke with Chuck? I heard someone was up singing at some point. I don't know if anyone wants to elaborate on that.
Well, I did go to Chuck's karaoke session, which he's got a karaoke app that he's built fully on the ServiceNow platform to just demonstrate that you can literally do anything. It is a really cool app, and it's also available for people to just use from home. If you're going to run a karaoke party, you can bring it up and you can run it for free. And it's amazing. You just literally search the song you want, and it will bring up a whole load of different ones that it thinks match what you're looking for as the song title. And then you can pick the one you want, and you get added to the queue. And at the point that it's your go to go up, it auto queues up and plays, a karaoke track of what you're going to sing with all the, subtitling and everything underneath it, which is it's amazing. But I got up there. I thought I could sing. Sweet Child of Mine. I thought I could sing it. It turns out that I turned it into a car crash. So it was terrible.
I'd heard you'd nailed it, Francis.
Yeah, nailed it to a piece of wood. Let it die.
But hey, you can now say that you played Vegas.
Yeah. It'd be on my CV.
Residency.
What was that like there? Was that like a big crowd? Was that? I've just got this vision of everyone with drinks going in, the beer's being thrown around and partying.
Yeah, it was a modest crowd to start with. By the time I finished, it was always empty. It's that's isn't it?
A smattering of applause.
But you know what? I also heard. Well, I didn't hear actually. I saw it. You put it in LinkedIn. Oh no, did you message me? You've got what I would consider the Charizard card of of ServiceNow, right? You not only got Chuck, but you spoke to Mrs. Chuck.
I did. I spoke to the senior VP of the Tomasi household, and so she's lovely, and I was just ultimately thanking her for the fact that she puts up with us all stealing Chuck's time, basically, or somebody has to.
Did she wear an equivalent to the bow tie, or was she not?
No, she didn't go with the luminous green shirt and the bow tie. She wasn't doing that. Yeah.
That would be.
I've not even seen him. I'm very disappointed. I've not even seen him.
Have you not? How have you not? Literally, I had this vision of, because my LinkedIn went bang, right? And there was loads of selfies of Chuck coming through. So I had this vision that you got these MVPs like Lauren and Chuck that stood there like Disney characters, and you're in a big queue.
It was a little bit
Francis
like
was
that.
in the lighting lane.
Yeah, it was a little bit like that, but it wasn't quite a big queue. Poor old Chuck. When I got my selfie with him, I do feel like a little bit bad about it, because he was stood outside of the keynotes as everybody was filing in on day one, and he was clearly busily trying to send the message on his mobile. And I walked up to him and I said, "Do you mind if I just take a moment? I'm not going to take any more of your time." And his response was so sweet. He just went, "I'm just trying to send this message, but yeah, okay." He's such a lovely guy. Such a lovely guy.
I think Francis is
really jealous.
Been celeb spotting or trying to, because did you not go walking around with Guran's Witch Doctor book to try and get a signature?
I did, but I don't think he's here, unfortunately. I was hoping that he'd be here and get a signature, but
really?
I haven't seen him.
Keep looking.
Did anyone spot Tim Woodruff? Because he was handing out books as well, walking around, I think.
No, I haven't
I've
seen
not seen him either.
There's a lot of people.
Well, James, where have you been then? So if you didn't see Chuck, who have you caught up with? Who have you?
He's been on the spinny thing. Have you seen that on LinkedIn as well? Seen Lauren share that? There's like a 360 camera.
I'm about to queue for that, actually. We're going to do one.
It is good.
About to queue for that. I've been on the NASCAR simulator as well, which is pretty good.
Awesome.
We've done quite a bit. I've just not seen any of the key players, apart from Bill on stage and CJ on stage and stuff like that. So I've not seen Chuck, and I'm a little bit upset. So I'm going to keep looking now.
Yeah. But surely, if you just stand there and just watch the crowds, that'll be their heading that way. Let's go.
You should have come for the karaoke. You had Chuck, you had Lauren, you had Arjun. Oh, all of them were there. It's really good.
This is making me feel really jealous, guys. I'm so pleased for you guys, but I'm also really, really bitter. Look, talk to us about these conversations kind of flicking all around the place. It doesn't matter. Talk to us about swag.
Swag.
I heard they had anti-swag rules.
Yeah, they do, but
no
there is
swag.
There is swag. Yeah, there is swag.
What's anti-swag rule? What's that mean?
I don't think they're giving much away on the stores, are they? As I understand it, on the booths.
Why?
I think one of the reasons is because they want you to go to the ServiceNow store and spend £120 on a jumper that says ServiceNow on it, or a £30 notebook, or a £6 pen.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Wow.
But I have got some merch. I think the best merch was from at somebody called NTT Data. I got some merch.
Oh, all right, okay. Yeah,
I've not heard of them.
No, I have. I've got a cap and a little model NASCAR. So not NASCAR model as we discussed the other day.
Yeah, they're a bit more expensive.
If you pop by the DXC stands, you might get some Man United gear.
It's got the Man United branding on. So yeah.
So swag not
No,
huge
so
amount. Managed to pick up a few.
That's
There is a way to do
disappointing.
it. There is a way to do it. So they've got the Knowledge 23 app, and
We
you
got
can go around on the Knowledge 23 app, and you can scan QR codes. And as you collect the QR codes, you then get points, and then you can go and redeem the points at the store to get yourself a hoodie or to get yourself a Creator-Con t-shirt and these sort of things. But you've got to have gone and done the events and scan the QR codes. So
Yeah.
there is
Wow.
also a raffle effectively, and the top prize of the raffle is an e-bike. So that's also quite good, and also tickets to next year's Knowledge as well. So comp tickets on ServiceNow. So it's worth doing, but not a lot of people seem to be doing it because I've not done that much effort on it, and I'm number 12 out of 600 and something people who have registered. So you can get quite high up the list quite quick.
I think they did something similar at the forum event in London in October. You got a card signed by the vendors that you spoke to, then you got coffee at the end. So I think it's a similar concept. What happened to just going up and blagging a pen for the sake of having a pen?
Yeah.
There's not much of that.
USB portable charger things. That's what we want.
Well, they
You
are.
can buy one of those.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. They got those in the store if you want to pay for it. Plus tax.
Oh my god.
So I guess James. So what have you got left today then? What's your plans?
Well,
how you manage your day
that's a really
today?
good question. I had to go into the app. So the app's pretty good actually, if I'm honest, at following your agenda. I think my next session is, I'll tell you what it is. I'm going to the product roadmap for CSM, and I already did the ITSM roadmap. Then we've got lunch, and then I think that's almost it. Everything seems to finish at about 2:30 today. It wraps up. Everyone goes on the show floor, and then we're off to the hotel across the road for the One Republic closing celebration. So they're headlining the closing celebration. So that'd be good.
Nice.
Wow. When do you fly back? You go flying back later on today, tomorrow?
9 o'clock tomorrow night. We're back. So we get back into London. Are you on the same flight?
Yeah,
Francis?
same flight. Yeah.
Or about
Yeah.
In fact, there's most of the UK ServiceNow community seems to be on the same flight. So
they're deporting all of us in mass. That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
But this is it, right? And this is something that Francis, I think you were trying to say before, and James, you did say it, but Francis, we couldn't hear you. It's not that we can't understand what you're saying.
My Wiltshire twang.
But no, for me, it's like you two, right? You and Francis, you hadn't. I don't think you've met before, but you've kind of met now because we're all working towards the same thing. We're enthusiastic about the same thing. It's nice that yes, background and partners that you work for, it doesn't really matter. Do you know what I mean? You're all enthusiastic about the platform. No, I like that.
Yep, definitely. There's a very joined up way of working, I think. It's very collaborative in that way. It's the sort of thing that I'm sure, C-suite in our partnerships are very nervous about. But yeah, we're very happy about it.
And that's what you didn't mention the name. No pound in the pound, John. Okay, so we're coming up to 30 minutes. I'm conscious you guys have got to crack on. You've been so good spending some time with us. I'm not only just saying that because I've got to get the kids to bed as well, but that is a fact. But let me ask you this one question, then we'll James or Jim, sorry mate, you can summarise for us. But talk to us about after parties. This is really what we want to hear, right? After parties, talk to us.
There's been a few. So last night was the partner parties. So every partner was having a party. So there's a lot of customers getting invited to lots of different parties. I was obviously at the NTT Data founding party last night, which was good. And there's been a lot of socialising that's been happening. So there's been a WhatsApp group set up for the UK-based people. set up by Dean Mortimer that Francis is on there as well. So that's been really useful to be able to meet people in this huge city. But yeah, there's been quite a few different parties. There was a bit of a ServiceNow reception on the show floor on Tuesday night, which is pretty good. Yeah, but I only went to the one official partner party, which was last night. I don't know what Francis was up to.
Yeah, we've done a few.
So-
We've done there was an EMEA one, the reception obviously for all the EMEA partners and customers. So we went to that. That was a ServiceNow official one at the beginning of the week. Also last night I went to one which was a partner organisation who rhymes with Glide Past, shall we say? That you can work that out yourselves. Yeah, and
Nicely done.
And myself
Nicely
and
done.
all of my Flyform colleagues. So there you go, pounding in the jar. And yep, so
Yeah.
we were there
Wow.
representing Flyform, and we had some of our customers there as well. So that was that was your classic Vegas lavish nightclub party. That was amazing, really amazing.
Really?
Yeah, DJs they're rocking everybody out, and drinks on tap, and it was really good, really good.
Wow, that was my next question. Which after parties had free drinks? That's what people want to know.
I think they all do. I think, if I'm honest.
Right. Okay. I'm sold.
And the lessons learned here, if you ever get the chance to come, and if I'm lucky enough to come again, is if there's a drink that's free and it's going, you got to take it because it is so expensive out here.
It is.
So expensive.
Portion sizes are large, but so is the bill. Yeah.
Dean Mortimer's just passing me now. I'm on the Service Ducks podcast.
Oh. Who is this?
That was Dean Mortimer. Dean, come and say hello. Come and say hello. You're on the Service now.
You're live.
You're live, by the
Please
way.
do not
Oh,
swear.
live.
Yeah.
Okay.
Live. Please do not swear.
Keep it PG-13.
Here's the chin. So, just before we close that, and again, really appreciate it. What's your key takeaways, and what message would you give to someone that wants the golden ticket next year? And that, I guess, I'll go to Francis first.
Oh God, you're going to put me on the spot. Okay, right. So key takeaways is it's definitely worth coming, and you can draw up easily a good business case to those who might be sponsoring you to come along because of the value that you'll be able to take back to your organisation. There's no doubt about it. Whatever your agenda is, you will find the resources here to be able to give you some very powerful answers and some very powerful knowledge that you can take back to your organisation. So that's that. What was the other part of the question? Was it what I would do different or something like that?
Yeah, key takeaways, and what advice would you give to someone that wants a golden ticket next year?
Yeah, so the advice for the golden ticket, like I said, is just you work out what your agendas are and try and get that to your stakeholders to understand that this will be able to return that. I don't know how I can really give any other advice on that, because I was selected by my organisation. Didn't even know I was being selected. I got selected. I'm very, very grateful to be here, to Flyform, pound in the jar, for sending me. And I'm just amazingly infused at taking that information back. Key takeaways, it's big. It's big. That's my key takeaway. It's absolutely massive. I can't say anymore.
No, and that's good. And Jim, I think we've got our Christmas game sorted out. In episode number 13, Francis said the word Flyform how many times?
How much is mortgage that he had to shift?
James Bough, same question. So, what's your key takeaway from it?
It's
What would you say to someone who wants to go next year?
key takeaways. So I think just the sheer sort of scale of and the community of it. It's nice to get back out and about. Obviously, after the last few years we've had, it's an event that you can't really. I don't know if you can just sum it up like that. I think it's a great experience. There's a lot of benefit. I think you can tell your leadership team or whoever needs to sign it off what the benefits are. You're going to learn a lot. You're going to meet a lot of people. You're going to see what's coming down the line. I'm really grateful to NTT Data and everyone there, to our practice lead, Safina, and Jason Brook in particular. So for giving me the opportunity, and I hope I get the opportunity again in the future. But yeah, if anyone out there that's listening, then if you've got a chance, then yeah, get that business case in and get over here.
Awesome. Thanks, James. Jim, would you like to summarise and wrap
Yeah,
up?
I mean, from what I've been listening intently, and it's really interesting to know what you'd be expecting if we were to go next year, for example, Russ. As we're
I'm
both
going,
not
I'm
been, so
going.
it's great. It's great to get that kind of insight. It's great to see what to expect. I think some of the big takeaways I've kind of heard from is, even though it's over 40 degrees, still bring your jumper. Get in early if you want to see Chuck or Lauren or one of the big hitters. I think you have to plan your time wisely. It sounds like, I know you have the app and it kind of helps out with that sort of thing, but yeah, planning your time sounds like quite a big thing. And the lack of swag. I mean, come on.
Yeah, that's pretty big.
And Francis
Yeah.
can't sing. That's
Francis
another big
can't
thing.
see. There's been a lot of karaoke, by the way, in private parties. So some people really put themselves out there and put some amazing performances in. I was. I know you weren't there, Francis, on that night. It was the night before that I met you on the Fremont Street, which seems to be the old part of Vegas, the best part. But yeah, there's a karaoke bar there, and there's some individuals belting out some songs. It's pretty good.
Yeah, they're later on. They're after the.
I think we're going. I think I will probably up there after the after party. Yes.
All right, guys. Jim, we're going to try and do this and see if it goes well. Right? Let's see if they catch on. Guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. Really appreciate you spending some time with us, talking us through it. And I'm so chuffed for you who've managed to go, and including us, whoever's listening, or will listen to the podcast at a later date. Yes, we've live streamed it, but it will be on Spotify and Google and all the other podcasty type things at some point. So you can listen to it later. And you can, what I do is send it to the kids sometimes, James, and they have a bit of a laugh and mock me about.
Yeah, that brings up the view count. Yep.
Yeah, get your mom watching it. But I really appreciate it. And it just remains us to say, I've been Russ.
I've been Jim.
I've been Francis.
I've been James.
That's all for today's podcast. Thank you for listening. And if you want to get your question answered by the Service Ducks, get in touch through Talk to the Duck at service-ducks.com, or just use one of the links below.